Hello, everyone. Welcome back to We Are the Game. I'm Michael, and that's Luke. And we are going to talk today about the Arizona Cardinals and their upcoming game with the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts have been sailing right through for the most part. Cardinals have had some ups and downs, most recently in their game against the Titans, which did not go the way that we had hoped for the Cardinals. So, coming into this game, how are the Cardinals going to approach what has been a really consistent, challenging Colts team, both on offense and defense? How do you anticipate the Cardinals, who have made some progress in certain areas and had some fall offs in others, approach this from their last game with the Titans?
Well, I mean, first of all, they need to be more buttoned up. Like that should go without saying. There were two of the most ridiculous bad plays that you'll see all year happen in the same game. The bad snap that went off Kyler's helmet, you'll have that happen at some point where it goes sailing over the quarterback's head, or he does it early into his hands or whatever. He's just not ready for it. That'll happen. It's rare, but it'll happen. But you can't have the other two plays. You can't just be a comedy of errors. And expect to go anywhere. But that's something you kind of prepare for just by being buttoned up and being professional. As for an actual approach to going after that team, I think oddly enough, it kind of has to be the pass game. Their pass rush is middle of the pack, I would say. And so that it's somewhere where we can try to capitalize a little bit. Bright spots. One of the only bright spots from last game was the Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. connection. Seemed maybe it really is better after that terrible Seattle game where it ended well with that nice touchdown pass. It seemed like they carried that energy right into the Colts, right into the Titans game, rather. And so let's continue that. Let's keep going. That confidence, not just in Marvin and himself or Kyler and himself, but like those two together, that would be a really good thing. Maybe it'll open things up again for Trey McBride, and that will in turn open things up for the run game, which we're on our third, fourth, however many running backs. We still have Amari DeMarcado, oddly enough. So we'll see. I can't imagine he'll ever let go of a ball again. He may just glue it to himself.
Whatever.
But anyways, that would be our approach. I believe that we need to embrace as far as like a direction. It was we need to engage the passing game, which is not always common for us because people think Arizona Cardinals right now, they think Drew Petzing, they think, hey, we're a running kind of game. I think if you want the run game to work, you're going to need to start with the pass game this week in particular, just based on what their team is. It's not that they're terrible against the pass, but I think that there are some vulnerabilities there. Also, it's a nice storyline that Marvin Harrison Jr. goes to his father's professional alma mater, so to speak, and really capitalizes on it. It'll be a great show. It'd be a good spirit lifter. It would be a good tone setter for this game. So that's probably our path, the way I see it, to victory.
Yeah, that makes tons of sense to me. The other thing that I was looking at that kind of gave me, I guess, encouragement on that is, really the only balanced offense that the Colts have played all year is the Rams. The Rams are pretty balanced offense. They can hurt you both ways, and that was the game they lost. So to me, I think kind of going to your point. I mean, the most obvious thing I think is the one you've already pointed out is just playing with more discipline, right? Like, let's make the right plays. Not mess around with stuff. That'd be great. But I think that just maintaining that balance might be a key from your offensive side as well. So now on the other side of the ball there, looking at the Colts, what do you think the Colts are looking at, or what do you think that they're going to try to do that the Cardinals need to prevent? However you want to look at that. How would you anticipate they're going to come at this game to make sure that they don't have what just happened to the Eagles last night happen to them?
Well, they don't need to do anything too special because they're so balanced, to be completely honest. So I think that trying to capitalize on the thing that I said they haven't been doing all that well and trying to get pass rush, I mean, it always makes sense if you can get after the opposing team's quarterback. But there is definitely some data out there that Kyler Murray can be affected by some pass rush. If you can get him off of his timing, then that can really help as long as you're keeping him somewhat contained. Like if you let him run wild, then obviously he's going to hurt you like any other mobile quarterback will, or worse than some even. But if you can disrupt the passing game that I was saying that we ought to try to get going, um, then that could cause us some problems. So for them, I would try to get after him. I would try to, I don't want to say move heaven and earth, excuse me, but I would definitely put in an extra effort into some exotic blitzes, some just like try to surprise him. And you create a couple of those. You're going up against a team, again, not to hark on it too much, but that is, they will make some big errors. So the more you rush things, the more likely we are to make those kind of errors. So I would definitely be adding pressure to that in the hopes that it stimulates further mistake making patterns or abilities or idiocy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that makes sense. It's funny. I think at the end of the day, it's kind of the same expectation or advice for both teams. It's all right. The Cardinals need to clean things up and not make mistakes that they have been making. The Colts need to just not make the mistakes they haven't been making and keep on their current trend. Yeah, I think one of my favorite things about this game in general is how good both defenses have been, particularly in the red zone, and how that's going to play out in the game. I enjoy defensive-based games rather than massive blowouts, which, of course, as a Cowboys fan, I haven't got to experience much this year. So, but yeah, I think that's good. So, with that all in mind, what player or position group are you going to be particularly watching as the bigger impact to this game coming up? Where do you put your stock in the big impacts being?
Well, there are several that are going to be huge. And it is more a position group than an individual player. I think eyes will be on Marvin Harrison Jr. because they always are, and because of the added historical significance of where he's playing and all that. And that's great. And I could say defensive line because if they're able to run wild with Jonathan Taylor, who's having himself a nice season, then this is going to be a rough game. But I will actually probably match. I think it's the same things we said about Dallas, and it was like it's the offensive line. Now, if you want to get the pass game going, the offensive line is obviously critical. We were able to bring Will Hernandez back, our theoretical starting right guard, for about the first half of last week. And then we pulled him, and things didn't go so well after that. And you could tell the run game was different when he's out there and when he's not. He is a tone setter. He's a really good right guard. Yeah. And so if we can get, I mean, he's like, I would say position group to watch his offensive line player specifically, Will Hernandez, and if he's able to play. So if those things happen, it should make the pass game better. It should make the run game better, which will allow the defense to not always maybe be playing from behind. So it's going to be, that's going to be huge. Offensive line play is always big, but I think that this week in particular, it's even more significant. So yeah, it's a little bit of a boring answer, I'll admit, but I'll say offensive line to kind of pair in with points 1 and 2, so to speak.
Yeah, no, you and I think, are both great appreciators of good offensive line and good offensive line play and the impact that has on games in general. And with a team with a defense as good as the Colts has been, that will definitely play a massive factor in this game. So yeah, I agree. That should be a lot of fun to watch. So with that being said, what do you ultimately, you got to come down to what is your call and what do you imagine the score is going to be like for this one?
Well, I don't see us winning, but I do see us actually beating the spread. I think they're giving the Colts about 6.5 points. The Cardinals have played some teams that have put up some points this year, and we have not. We have not really given up a lot of points. I don't think we've given up more than 23 in any game yet this year. And I think that maybe they would exceed that by a little, like maybe they score 25 or something like that. But that we would score maybe 21, like losing 21 to 24 or something like that is, I don't want to say it's respectable. It is, but we're at the point now where it doesn't really matter if you're respectably losing or not. It's time to be respectably winning. So I think that we'll probably lose this game. I think that even if we hadn't had the comedy of errors and if we had beat the Titans last week, I might still pick the Colts, not just because I don't think we're a particularly good team, but because they are playing just lights out right now. So I'd love to be wrong. And I do, again, I think we'll beat the spread. But I will say that the Colts would win this game. And again, I'll say 24-21 or something like that. So what do you think? Am I being too pessimistic?
No, I sadly, in many ways, I think you're right on. I think that Both teams have such good defenses. I think it would take a real collapse for the Cardinals to let it get too out of hand. Um, but yeah, and I do think that this could be a kind of game where one or two mistakes could determine it one way or the other. I mean, and that's goes for the Colts as much as it does for the Cardinals, which is good. That's you want to have be in a close game there. But no, I think that makes a lot of sense. It would be really cool to see the Cardinals walk away with this one. But yeah, I would agree. I think the Colts it's their game to lose.
Yeah.
It's their game to lose. So. All right, well, let's wrap it up there. I guess we'll see what actually happens coming up on Sunday. Here's hoping. But thanks, everybody, for joining in. Join in next time. We'll be talking about the Cardinals and what actually does happen in the game, hopefully with fun news to tell. But outside of that, we'd really appreciate a like or subscribe, or join us in the comments and tell us where we're being crazy, which is pretty normal. And we'll see you there. So thanks and have a great day.